All right, guys. So the far left has been very quiet for the past week because of the Cuban protests against the communist regime, right? And the reason why they've been quiet is because they know that this is a direct example of why communism / socialism does not work and will not work. And it shows that people who live under these systems don't want these systems. They don't thrive under these systems. Okay, it's in direct opposition to the narrative that they want to push on the American people. Okay, because that's low key or really high key what they want, right? So they've been silent. Now Bernie has spoke about it a little bit, and every time people on the left talk, they always got to say, oh, well, you know, we stand against the oppressive Cuban government, but the U.S. though, right? They spend way more time talking about the U.S. and the embargo than they do actually talking about the evils of communism. And AOC finally came out and gave a statement about Cuba, and unsurprisingly, she has to talk about the U.S. embargo and how cruel the U.S. is being for trying to use leverage against the Cuban government. Take a look.
One of the things that we're trying to accomplish, and one of the things that we want to make sure that we communicate, is our solidarity with the Cuban people. They have requested international solidarity with their movement, and we stand in strong solidarity. And one of the things that's important for us to discuss is some of the contributing factors into this situation. One thing that we must unequivocally condemn are anti-democratic actions on behalf of the Diaz-Canel administration. And we want to make extremely clear that suppression of the freedom of press and the suppression of protest and the suppression of freedom of speech is unacceptable and runs contrary to our democratic values. And we call on the Diaz-Canel administration to treat all protesters and to condemn any police violence and to reverse any and all policies of that. Now, the other piece of this is the U.S. administration. And what's extraordinarily important for us to communicate as well is the actions and U.S. contributions to the suffering of Cubans on the island as well. And that is directly related to the embargo, the U.S. embargo, economic embargo that is frankly has been in place for over 60 years. Last month, once again, the UN voted overwhelmingly to call on the United States to lift its embargo on Cuba. And the United States was one of the only countries that voted no. The embargo, the U.S. embargo, is absurdly cruel. And like other U.S. policies, particularly other U.S. policies targeting Latin Americans and Latinos, the cruelty is the point. And I outright reject the Biden administration's defense of the embargo, where they have said that they wanted to maintain the embargo as it is a source of leverage and pressure. There is no way where it is acceptable for us to use cruelty as a point of leverage against everyday people, period. Whether it's our border or whether it's the U.S. embargo on Cuba, the cruelty is the point.
All right, guys. So that's AOC commenting on the situation, right? Obviously, she is trying to say that the U.S. plays a large part in the suffering of the Cuban people. Now, before I comment on that, I want you guys to actually listen to a child of Cuban refugees whom spoke out against AOC and Bernie and the far left in regards to them wanting to implement communism in the face of what is happening in Cuba. Take a look.
The Cuban people, we're tired. They're tired of the communism, of the left, of the suppression. The oppression that they have is unbearable, and nobody understands more like the Cuban people. And that's why we fight so hard so that we don't have communism into this country. I mean, this ideology that they have, it's like the perfect. I mean, it's if you see this many people that risk their lives coming to this country, doesn't matter their color, they're black, they're white, they're mixed. Every color of the rainbow, you have them in Cuba, and they're fighting for one thing: is freedom and no more communism. You can't say this you can't do in Cuba, because if you guys just, I mean, and I tell this to people all the time, please research, look at the, not what they, trying to picture that it's perfect. It's not. They don't have medicine. They don't have food. We have to constantly send, medicine to our families. And then, if you think about it, if communism was so great, wouldn't it sustain itself? Wouldn't it be just the perfect paradise to live in? Why are so many people sacrificing their lives, their children's lives in a raft to come to freedom. And notice that the flag that they're lifting is the American flag. No other flag you see there. The Chinese flag's not there. The Venezuelan flag is there because they're searching for the same thing as us, freedom. You don't see the Russian flag. No other flag but the United States flag, the Cuban flag, and the other countries that are searching for the same exact thing that we want. Freedom for our people. They're starving. They're killing them. And they're not saying anything. They keep it just like the Chinese Communist Party. They do exactly the same thing. They tell you what the rest of the world wants to hear, not the reality, the truth. And are all these people wrong? No. And we're tired. We're 62 years of you know what it is that you can't, the Cuban people can't buy meat. It's illegal. You can't have your own business. It's illegal. If you're caught with your own business, they'll come and shut it down. Why? Because they want part of the money. It doesn't work, and we don't want it in this country, and that's why we're fighting, and that's why it's a problem. It's not a Cuban people problem. Okay, this is a problem for everyone in this country, for everyone that can easily be affected by communism. Latin America, South America, you do not want this. I mean, he came over here, risked his life as well, because he didn't have the basic freedoms like we do, and we take it for granted. We take it for granted, and it scares me when you have people on the left here saying how perfect it is. How you have the Bernie Sanders and the AOCs trying to implement those stupid laws like they have in those countries. That's why we're here. You don't see Americans going to Cuba on a raft. You don't see that. You see the other way around. And anybody that believes their lies, I don't even know what to say. And I can't even believe that we're in a situation where we're so close to communism in this country. It's sad. It's really, really sad. And he came from Cuba, and he can tell you like everything that the indoctrination of their children. I mean, it's all of these people around the world. It's not just here in Washington. It's not in Miami. The entire world is protesting. Somebody needs to wake up. Somebody needs to do something. It's too much, and nothing's being done. And it needs to stop, because it's like a cancer. It's just grow and grow, and then there's no stopping. And we need to stop communism now. And I think if we stop it now in this country, it'll be a different world.
All right, guys. So as you heard there, did you notice how throughout everything that she was saying, she never once mentioned the U.S. embargo? Matter of fact, most of the videos, most of what I'm hearing, right, and what I'm seeing from Cuban people regarding this issue don't have any issues with the U.S. embargo, right? It's almost as if they understand why the embargo is there. It's almost as if they understand that the U.S. is using it strategically to place pressure on the Cuban government to, change, right? Okay? Not to be communist. And AOC loves to talk about this embargo as if lifting the embargo is going to magically make everything better, because the government is oppressive. These people can't even own their own businesses. Like she talked about, the government doesn't want you own any private property or anything like that. You don't have any rights. So even if we lift the embargo and we choose to do business, is that going to benefit the Cuban people? There's no guarantee it's going to benefit them. There's no guarantee that they're going to benefit from that. But it will benefit the government. It will make it easier for the government to be more oppressive to their own people. But see, it's almost like these socialists, AOC, they can't connect the dots on this, right? They can't connect the dots on it. They try to just blame the U.S. That's all they want to do. Anytime something is right in their face in terms of something being wrong, right, with communism or socialism, it's not really communism. It's not really socialism. Oh, wait, no. It's the U.S. fault, right? The communism it doesn't work because of the U.S. That's what they do, because they don't have any real other defense. It's a deflection. And like that young lady brought up in that video, you never see these people in the U.S. who want socialism, communism so much, who claim it's so great. They don't want to go to Cuba, right? They can get on a raft and go to Cuba if they want to. They can go to China if they want to, but you don't see them doing that. You don't see them going to these places. I mean, they can go to Europe. Europe's not all the way there, but they're definitely a lot more left on economics and social policy than we are. They won't even go to Europe. They'll go vacation in Europe for a few months. Okay, they will tour Europe. They will do all that, but they won't go live. They won't renounce their citizenship and go live in Europe. They love the U.S. They love living in the U.S. while also telling the U.S., you need to be more like Europe. You need to be more like Cuba. You need to be more like China. But they won't get up and go live there. And see, and that's why I think, these people are jokes. They live in cuckoo for Cocoa Puff world. They live in this idealistic world where they think that the government is the answer for everything. And we've seen time and time again throughout history, when you have massive government control, right? It's never good for the citizens. It's never good for the citizens, right? But they want government here to solve their issues. That's why they want to promote communism/socialism. They want to promote those policies because they don't really want to work hard. They don't want to do anything for themselves. Therefore, they don't like capitalism. Like I said, I've always said this: if you don't like working hard and taking risks, you're not going to like capitalism. Capitalism's not for you, right? Capitalism's not going to be for everybody. That's why I'm not surprised there's so many people that are opposed to it, right? Because it's not for everybody. It's everybody's personality. Everybody's not built to take advantage of capitalism, right? Some people are just built to say, hey, give me. They don't want to go out and earn. Okay? And when they have the opportunity to move to a country like that where they can, hey, this is what you want, this is what you want to live under, they don't want to do it. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.